So you want to become a backend developer, but don't know where to start because there are literally hundreds of tools and you just got lost in all of this mess. But don't worry, my friend, I got you. I'll help you build a roadmap that you'll have to follow to land your first job and finally become a backend developer. So first and the most important is to choose the programming language. But hey, there are so many of them, which one should you choose? Here's the thing, every programming language can be used for almost anything, but of course there are favorites for each field. For example, JavaScript for frontend, but at the same time it can be used for backend. Python for scripting, but at the same time it works for backend. So here's a list of 5 most popular programming languages that people use to build APIs on servers. Let's say you pick Java. So now you go search for a course on YouTube or on Udemy if you're rich. Udemy, in this economy. So after you learn the language, you know the basics, object-oriented programming, the concurrency, lambda, streams, blah blah blah, you should really hit LeetCode. That's a platform which will help you build problem-solving skills and learn about data structures and algorithms. You don't really have to grind it like a maniac, but you have to understand the differences between an array, list, map and set. And obviously you should be able to solve a palindrome problem without losing your mind. Before going to the next step, you can also focus a bit on Linux, learn some bash commands like cd, mkdir, rm and stuff like that, because in a future career you'll have to deal with Linux pretty much daily. And the worst part? Most of the time you won't have a user interface, so you'll have to write commands. After that you should learn about Git. What is Git? It's a tool that basically stores previous versions of your project. Let's say you want to build a new feature and halfway through you realize that your whole app is broken. Well, we're fucked. Unless you use Git and you can just roll back to a previous version and pretend like nothing happened. So learn Git, learn about GitHub too, and you're halfway done. Good job, brother. Now we have to find out what the hell are databases. You should know that there are 2 types of databases, SQL ones and the shit ones, or as people politely call them, NoSQL. I would suggest focusing on SQL ones like MySQL or Postgres, whichever you like the most because it doesn't really matter. Learn about tables, foreign keys, indexes, and that's pretty much everything you really need to know about them. So that's cool. You know a programming language, you know about version control systems like Git, you're able to complete a LeetCode problem without collapsing your brain, and databases are not scaring you. So it's time to learn about HTTP. It's basically a protocol that applications use to talk to each other over the internet. Like for example now, you watch a video that is hosted somewhere else in the world, and you can do that because your browser talks to YouTube via HTTP and sends you this video. So learn the basics of HTTP, status codes, headers, body, types of requests, and last but not least, you should start learning a framework that allows you to build these RESTful APIs that will use HTTP protocol. Since we picked Java earlier, I would go with Spring Boot, but there are other frameworks for other programming languages like .NET for C#, Express.js for JavaScript, or Django for Python. And this will probably be the most complicated part of your roadmap, since it really takes a lot of time to master the framework. But good news! You don't have to be a master to apply to your first job. You just have to have an idea and be able to use it to build simple apps. So that's pretty much it? No, my silly friend. Now it's time to build projects. Lots of pet projects and post all of them on GitHub. Because your future recruiter needs to have something to evaluate you on. Projects are your best opportunity for that. Oh, and Docker. Yeah, you should definitely learn it. You won't understand it at first, nobody does, but you should know it if you want to stand out. So that's your roadmap. Now get to work, fellow developer.